Hello, it's Phil here from the National Literacy Trust, and I'm here today to show you how to write a persuasive letter. Now this letter, it's going to be about the environment, about helping the planet. So it's in a non-fiction style, but it's going to be from a fictional character. So that's going to add a bit of fun to the letter. And the fictional character is going to be the Green Crayon from this fantastic book, The Day the Crayons Quit, by Drew Daywalt and illustrated by Oliver Jeffers, published by HarperCollins. And you might have seen this book. I think it's fantastic. In it, the crayons write to their owner, who's called Duncan, and most of them are complaining about things. So the purple crayon here, he loves drawing grapes and dragons and wizards' hats, but he doesn't like the way Duncan doesn't stay within the lines. Okay, so we're going to write a letter from the Green Crayon, who of course is into green issues and the environment, and he's going to write to Duncan and try and persuade him to be eco-friendly in and around the house. So I think the first thing we should do is perhaps think about what eco advice this Green Crayon can give to Duncan around the house or outside the house. So let's make a mind map. So if you just draw a cloud or a bubble here, put eco advice in the middle, and let's make a mind map around here thinking about what advice the Green Crayon would give to Duncan. So an obvious one, of course, is for recycling for the environment. Recycling. Another one, let's think about power, the power that you're using in your house, and the electricity, the gas. So let's think about power. What else could be on there? How about transport? Okay, so not just the power in your house, but when you're traveling around, how can you make sure that you're doing it in the best way possible for the planet? And then, let's think about recycling. You heard that phrase? Reduce, reuse, recycle. So we could have, as well as recycle, reduce and reuse. Okay, so we're getting the starts of a mind map here. So let's think about, off these, we can start thinking more specifically about what we can do. So recycling. You could recycle your paper, for example. The paper. Plastic. Ooh, what kind of plastic can you think of that you can recycle in your house? So you might want to put a few more coming off plastic. What different types of plastic are there? Power. So switch things off. Switch off lights. Yeah. What about leaving things on standby? And hopefully you can think of some more there as well. Transport. Think about the alternative forms of transport. You don't have to go everywhere in the car. You could go on the bus. That's a bit better. Or cycle or walk. What would you put there? And what can you reduce and reuse in the house or around the house or at school that can also help the environment? So you're going to use these a bit later on. So get as many ideas as you can onto your mind maps. And then I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so keep your mind map because you're going to need that a bit later. But for now, let's have a think about persuasive language and persuasive techniques. What does your letter need to include in order to make it persuasive to the reader? So what I'd like you to do is to make another mind map or a list of persuasive features. You can do this yourself or do it as a class. And then we're going to see how many of these we can get into our letters. Okay, so pause the video and do that now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it myself here. Okay, let's see what I come up with. So we have got things like emotional language, so strong adjectives, powerful verbs, personal pronouns, I, you, etc. Repeated words or phrases, but there's a rule of 3. If you can put 3 words together or 3 phrases, works really well. Explain your point using conjunctions like because, and, so, etc. Refer to authorities, so include statistics or facts in your work to persuade people. Rhetorical questions, so questions that kind of answer themselves, and different openers. Furthermore, on top of this, I believe that, etc., etc. Okay, so all those things to use in your letter. So it's probably time now to give it a go. So I'm going to give mine a go and I'm going to show you in a second. Let's see what we come up with. It could be to Duncan, it could be to somebody else, it could be the crayon writing a letter to you. You could use your own name. Okay, so let's see what we come up with as we write a persuasive letter from the Green Crayon on environmental issues using persuasive techniques and all the ideas you've come up with. Okay, so here it is. Here's the beginning of my letter. Let's hear from it and see if you can spot some of the persuasive bits I've been using. Let's have a look. Dear Duncan, it's me, Green Crayon. We need to talk. As your most eco-friendly crayon, I am disgusted that you're not being environmentally friendly. For a start, you're using so many plastic bottles. Do you not know that it takes 45 years for a bottle to break down? Recycle them, or better still, reuse your tin bottle. Okay, so I think that's an okay start, isn't it? You might have spotted some rhetorical questions in there, some emotive language, etc. Try and get as much as that as you can into your letter, and try and really portray that crayon's personality. You can be a bit sassy, maybe even a bit sarcastic to Duncan to try and persuade him to be eco-friendly.